Hello everyone, this is Simon, and in this video I'm actually answering a request. Someone asked me if I could show them a way to do a tag style game. And they asked if I could do tag style either between players or townspeople. And I'm going to do one for townspeople just because it's a little funnier. And you can actually just switch a few things and change it very easily to a game that would be playable by multiple players. So, what I'm going to do here to design this game is I'm going to need a few logic gates first. Now, logic gates, if you don't know, are one of my favorite friends. I use them all the time. And in this case, I'm going to need one logic gate there, and then another two logic gates. And I'm going to explain as I go. While I'm at it, I'm also going to want a dynamic trigger, and I'm also going to want a time delay. And I'm just laying the tools out because I have a fairly good idea of how I would make this work. I'm going to want a button to start it, even though I've said I'm going to try and stop using buttons. They're just so easy to start triggered events with that I'm going to use a button. Now, team activators, if you haven't seen these before, what they do is these are primarily used for changing players to different teams. You can use them to change enemies and things like that. But basically, I've got a blue and a green team activator set down. Now, things that are on the same team don't attack each other, but things that are on opposite teams will attack each other, even if they're things that generally won't attack you, like, let's say, a townsperson. Townsperson on the ground, you're on the ground, a townsperson won't bother you. However, if the townsperson is a team and you are a different team, that townsperson is now going to attack you. And of course, for this tutorial, we are going to put down Mighty Jitus. Now, for this example, it's very important we don't touch behaviors. Her behavior has to remain set at none. Otherwise, of course, she would be set to disapprove, because that's just how it goes. But we are going to put her on the green team. She will always be on the green team for this example. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start at this end of the circuit, and as we design, I'll explain as we're going, we're going to make Mighty Jitus a dynamic trigger. If I can ever select her. There we go. And so, of course, for the dynamic trigger, we're going to make it a small trigger distance. Let's say perhaps 3. And we're going to say connected actor. Now what we're going to do is we're going to say if any player, well, let's actually be a little more specific for this exact game, because when you're playing a game like tag, you need to be specific. So if player 1, which is me, comes within that distance of her, we're going to send an input into this logic gate. Now this logic gate is only here because once you've tagged someone, you have to put in a pause, or else this trigger is going to keep firing, and you'll just keep switching back and forth between who's it. So we want to give it a little bit of a delay. We're going to make a 3-second delay. So we're going to set our time delay to 3 seconds. And we're going to say, once that delay is complete, we're going to open this logic. So what we're going to do is, if a tag occurs, we're going to close this logic gate so it can no longer send a signal through, because the only signal we're going to pass out of it is out of the output. And we're going to send it on to the next trigger area here. So if a tag has just occurred, this logic gate is going to close, so no signal will pass through it, and this time delay will start, and 3 seconds later it will reopen this logic gate, so you can now have tags happen again. So this logic gate right here has now received the signal that yes, a player has come within 3 units of the Mighty Jitus townsperson. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it so that if this logic gate is open, that means I'm it as the player, and if it's closed, it means Mighty Jitus is it. And just to keep ourselves knowing exactly what's going on, we are going to drop down a text creator, and we're going to put in the first line will be "you're it," and the second line is going to be messed up there. Second line is going to be "Mighty Jitus is it, run." Simple enough. So, if Mighty Jitus is it, or if I'm it, this logic gate is open. So, if we get a signal and it comes out the output, it means I was it. If that's the case, I'm using this second logic gate because a logic gate cannot send a signal to itself. So I can't then close this exact same logic gate when I send the signal. So instead, I'm going to open this logic gate and say, when this logic gate opens, close that logic gate. Now, at this point, if this logic gate is closed, it means Mighty Jitus was it. And now, or yes, it means Mighty Jitus was it, and now my player is going to be it. So this time, if we have an input blocked come out, we're going to close this top logic gate, and it's going to send a signal that if it closes, it's going to open this logic gate, so that again, my player is now going to be it. So we're actually going to take those messages. We're going to say, if this logic gate closes, show the message "you're it." And if this logic gate opens, show the message "Mighty Jitus is it." So now we know if this logic gate either opens or closes, someone's been tagged. So we want to start this circuit here. So we're going to say, if it opens, close that gate. And if it closes, close this gate. And we also want this timed layer to start that's going to reopen that gate 3 seconds later. So if this gate closes, we want to start our timed layer so that 3 seconds later it will reopen this gate. The signal can now pass back through. So we're actually almost done at this point, but we want it so that during this tag, if I'm it, Mighty Jitus is not going to chase me, but if she's it, she's going to chase me. So we've already determined that if this gate closes, it means I'm it. So if I'm it, I want to be on the same team as Mighty Jitus. While if she's it, or this logic gate opens, I want to be on a different team so she will start to chase me. And to start this whole thing off, I am simply going to say, when I press this button, close that logic gate, which will mean I will be on the same team as her, and we should be good to go. So let's give this a try. I'm it. Mighty Jitus is it, run. And you'll see that she is now chasing me because we're on different teams. And then I'll let her catch me, I'm it. And you can see that time delay waiting. Now she's going to chase me for a little bit when the team changes, but then she'll stop. Now unfortunately she's not going to run away from me very well, but now I'm it. So if I go up to her, she is it. And she's now going to chase me. There we have a simple little tag game going. And now I'm it, and she's not going to chase me anymore. So really, if you wanted to make this game between multiple players, you could do the exact same thing, except have this dynamic trigger set up so that the target is player 2. And so if player 1 and player 2 get within that distance, it will start switching who is it. Now you won't need these team activators anymore because it's two players. They'll know that they're supposed to be chasing each other. And that's about it. Now if you wanted to do multiple players, you would have to actually start increasing the size of this circuit. And if that's really what you want to do, feel free to send me a message and I can build something a lot bigger that will actually have 4 players playing tag. But for now, this is a simple enough way to do it. I realize it doesn't look incredibly simple, but it's not too bad. It's only 3 logic gates, dynamic trigger, and a timer, and a text to tell the player if they're it or not, and then these team activators just to make sure that that townsperson is going to chase me. And that is all we really need to have a quick little game of tag running between you and townsperson. And I can't believe I'm running away from her. This just does not seem fair. Hits a little hard though. So there you go. This has been a tutorial on how to make a simple little tag game. I hope it's been helpful, and have yourselves all a wonderful day.